you're dialed in right here with all the rookies, man. So one of the main questions I wanted to pick your brain on was just like, what are a few, like we'll say like five. What are like five fighters that you are most excited about that you're hoping, crossing your fingers, will get a card in 2026?
For sure. I think there's so many good prospects that could be in this class. So it's hard to narrow it down to
Yeah.
five, but I think we've got a couple. So like I think as far as like the scope goes right now, Quinlan Salkild is one of the biggest rookie names in the UFC right now. He's coming off of two finishes with the head kick. He's an absolute monster. He's from Australia. He's awesome. I love him. I think he's got a great personality. He's got a great social media team. I think he's a superstar. I think he's going to be great. So if he gets a rookie card, I think he would be one of the biggest chases. Another one, I would say Islam Dulatov. He's coming off the Contender Series season last year. This guy literally has an amazing story, and like he's also extremely marketable. He is
Why do you think he's so marketable? Is it how handsome he is?
he's
It's
a super
incredible.
mom. He's
Yeah,
literally Supermom.
literally,
Yeah,
look at this,
literally.
guys.
I think he walks for like Gucci and like all these designer brands, and he does that and he fights. So it's
Yeah,
like
the
he
dichotomy
literally
is crazy.
yeah, and he's from Germany, so I think he's got that worldwide fan base
Mm,
too. I mean,
okay.
as soon as he goes viral, he's already got one knockout in the UFC. He made his debut. I don't think he's booked right now, but yeah, I mean, the dude's a stud. He's going to be a beast.
What do you think? Before we go through, what do you think? Just kind of X's and O's about the Australian and the crazy performances that he has. Do you think he's going to be a guy that continues to rise up as he faces tougher, stiffer competition? Do you think his style matches up well with the people in the weight class? You kind of give us something on that.
Oh, 100%. So Salkeld, as we saw when he fought Nasrat Hassarat, I think that's how you pronounce his
Yeah,
name. He
crazy
had
name.
that crazy head kick KO, and everybody thought he was going to be a crazy KO artist because of what we've
Yep.
seen. And then his last fight that we just saw a couple months ago, everybody thought he was going to go in, knock out Jimmy Malarkey, and he went
Yep.
in, grappled, and finished him on the ground. I mean, he's showing that he's got a complete like game set, like he's a beast all around. And that's what he talked about in the interviews. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry if you guys were betting that I'm going to knock out Jamie.
Yeah.
I'm a wrestler and grappler at heart, actually." So he's just like he's got that full set of skills where I think he's going to blossom into a very, very, very big prospect in that division.
Yeah, being well-rounded is, we're seeing it more and more and more nowadays. You have to be well-rounded and great at everything whenever you get into the upper echelon of the divisions. How old is he? Because he's relatively young as well, right? And we know as rookies, that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, I think he's in his like mid 20s or early
Okay.
20s. I don't know his exact age, but I think he's probably like 26, 25 range. So he's got a lot of upside with his age as well.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm starting to notice as we continue, to move forward in the UFC card world is within the last, I want to say like really 2 years, we're seeing guys that it's not uncommon to see a 24, 25-year-old guy that has a lot of promising potential. And back, in the early 2020s, even like late 2018, 2019, like you did not see guys that were really surging in the rankings or even like had a lot of upside that were that young. I mean, it was just very rare. And I think it goes to the popularity of the sport, where we're at right now. Like people are starting to train. The sport's been around long enough. People have been training basically their entire life for this.
100%.
And it's really exciting for us as collectors because, like you're saying, that you could, like a Josh Van guy, right? He is the champ.
Exactly.
He could be literally in the top five for like 10 plus years. Who knows what's going to happen? So that's really exciting for some of these rookies.
100%. Yeah, and there's so many of them. I mean, another guy that I like, his name's Kevin Vallejos. I just saw him at the Apex at the end of last year. Now he beat, I think, who did he beat? He beat Giga Chikadze with a crazy spinning back fist,
Oh,
knocked him
wow.
out for insane performance. He's been on the up and up, but now at the beginning of this year, after that fight, he got booked against Josh Emmett. So he's already fighting
Ooh,
in the top of the division
yeah,
instantly. So like they're matchmaking this guy with the same exact kind of fighters that he wants to fight. He's got
yeah.
crazy KO power. He's a great boxer. And they're like, you know what? We're going to give you someone that's the same. Good boxer, crazy KO power. Let's see what happens. So I believe he is the main event too. So he went
Wow.
from, I think he was co-main event or somewhere, and he wasn't main event at the Apex, but now he's going to headline this fight night that's coming up. So he's another guy, crazy, crazy potential, no cards yet. He's from Argentina, so
Okay.
he's gonna have
Good.
an
Yeah.
awesome fan base as well.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast.
That's interesting stylistically too, because you have Giga Chikadze, great striker, right? But he's kind of more known as like kickboxing, a lot of good kicks, kind of a little more, I would say, diverse in his weapons. Then you have Josh Emmett, dude. He just got those hands, man. He's got those nukes. So that's an interesting stylistic matchup, striking wise, to see if he can handle, the kickboxer Giga Chikadze archetype, and then kind of transition over to Josh Emmett, which is more, more of a wrestler, brawler, stone hands type of guy, a little more boxing. So that's definitely an interesting matchup. And if he gets that done, like you're saying, that's a big feather in anybody's cap to beat a grizzled vet and a tough
Oh
guy
yeah.
like Josh Emmett.
And he's another one. I think he's in the 25, 26 year age range. And I have heard, I haven't said this, but I have heard people compare him. They say he's the Argentinian Ilia Topuria. So
Wow. Well,
that's a big
it
label
doesn't
to
get
put
much
on him.
bigger than that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly. So, I mean, I don't know about that. His boxing's crisp, he's got good power, but we'll see how
Yeah.
that plays out. Two other guys, I'm going to group them together because I couldn't do five, so I'm going to group two people together as one.
Okay.
Alden Correa, who fights what is this weekend when we record this, and Michael Aswell. They are both from 4 Ounce Fight Club, the gym that Joshua Van trains at. So they are both his training partners.
Oh
They're
wow.
both they're both very young. They're both very, very solid. They both have great striking, great grappling. Those are two guys to look out for, especially because that gym is on the rise with Joshua Van. Michael actually showed on his account that he signed the UFC debut patches that they're releasing. So we're
Oh
getting
baby.
the fighter worn on the sleeve
Mm,
UFC debut patches that are signed one of one RPAs. And he was actually the first person to wear one of those. So I think he's going
okay.
to be one of the biggest chases because he was the first person to debut the debut patch, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. Say that name one more time for people that missed out on the last 30 seconds. Who was the number one person, the first ever debut patch that we're getting from Tops, which is going to be absolutely massive. I can't wait to see what those do, and I think we're getting them in 2026. So who was the first ever person to get one of those?
Michael Aswell, the Texas kid, he's at a 4 Ounce Fight Club with Joshua Van, Alden Correa. It's a great gym. They're down in Houston, Texas, I believe. And yeah, he was the first one to wear the debut patch. I think he has it on his Instagram. He posted that he finally signed his UFC debut patch one of one. So hoping we get to know what product those are going to be in
Yeah.
because we have no clue and I can't
hmm
wait. So I'm super excited for those.
Yeah, man, and I like that you mentioned the gym. That's also something that I really try and cue in on some of these rookies because it's an interesting sport where like you have to have the looks in training, you have to have the people pushing you. It's such a tough sport on your body, on your mind, and it's such a high skill sport that you really need training partners that are top tier. And we see this a lot. This is not the first time. It's definitely not gonna be the last time where the specific you have like almost cohorts of training partners and they almost rise up together. And we've seen it in the past, and we're seeing it now with Fighting Nerds. We're seeing it, with Josh Fan and these guys, where they all push each other, they all do better, and it's also a confidence thing. Whenever you're training with a guy that's a champion or a guy that's about, in a contender about to be a champion, like it rubs off on you, and it gives those guys those confidence. And it's also such a mental and confidence sport that whenever you get a couple guys that are coming up at the same gym, that is always something to cue into.
Yeah, so those two are definitely ones that I would look out for. And then my last one, I think this is one that everybody knows about. Adaba Gutier, an absolute unit. Mini Francis Ngannou, just absolute monster. I think he's going to be one of the biggest chases, hopefully, in the 2026 rookie class. Obviously, we don't know who's going to be in that class, but I would guess that he's going to be. And I think he will be the biggest chase. He's got, like you can see, crazy finishes,
Yeah,
knockout power. He's just an absolute monster. I think the only fight he hasn't finished in the UFC was his last fight. It went all 3 rounds, but he still got the win unanimously. So, I mean, he's just going to keep getting better. He's got a crazy physique. The fact that he can
yeah.
even make 185 is the most insane thing to me ever. I don't know how that guy is 185 pounds, but he makes it and he's going to be a beast. He's just going to keep getting better.
Yeah, he's another guy where I want to say he's 24 years old or like something
Oh,
insane
wow.
like that. Like he's incredibly young. I don't remember if it was exactly 24, but it's one of those times where like he's not even close to his prime right now. Hopefully he
Exactly.
continues to go out there and to show out. He didn't get the finish in that last fight. But he knocked that guy down like 5 times. That's why it's important for people to actually watch the fights. The first right hand he threw literally lifted him off the ground, lifted his opponent off the ground and like threw him across. It was like a movie
Yeah.
punch. The guy has dynamite in his hands. But what Gavin, what really makes me most excited about him, obviously he's a powerhouse, obviously he's a beast, but he is a lot more technical than we generally see people that have this type of power in their hands. He doesn't rush, he's very measured, and he was able to go it wasn't in my opinion a tough fight for him, but it wasn't an easy fight. He definitely had to push. There were times where, his opponent got some shots off on him, and also the pace was not slow. And so I'm very happy with Atepa that one, he has the KO power, which is going to bring, he's going to get more finishes. But two, he's technical and he has the cardio, which I think is massive for a power puncher like him.
Yeah, no, Adov is a beast. The guy that he fought, Puliev, it's actually interesting. I talked about this with some people because we were talking about Gutier, and I actually predicted that that fight was going to go the distance and
Mm,
not going to be close, but going to be one of his like tests of not
yeah.
knocking somebody out instantly. Because Puliev actually, prior to fighting Adaba, fought Christian Leroy Duncan, who's a great
Okay.
rookie in this
Yeah.
class. He's somewhat similar. Great knockout power, good striking, kind of overpowers all his opponents. And Puliev took him to a decision as well. So I was like, I kind of see some kind of similarities on how this fight could go since CLD wasn't able to get him out of there either. So Puliev's an interesting one, man. He doesn't give up as I've
Yeah.
seen against CLD and Adabo, which is crazy.
Yeah. You cannot do that in this sport. We had just this weekend we had a crazy Alex Morono versus Daniil what's his last name? I forget his last name.
Lomachenko.
Yes, great prospect, and I saw that what I really respect about your channel is you are on the nose, man. Like I remember seeing Daniil in the tough, and then I was like, we'll see if he wins. Put some pressure on him. Looked great there in the finale. He almost gets another crazy finish, but you have guys like Alex Morono and some of these guys that you can win fights off pure toughness and not giving up on yourself. And Pulev definitely, attributed some of those attributes that he had in that fight, and that's very important. So
100%.
already, I am loving this episode, man. We're giving you guys some heat out there, and this is really fun for me because I like to do the rookie research and learn about these guys. And what this does is it makes the fight night so much more entertaining. These guys, a lot of them are on the prelims. Some of them even early prelims. And
Yeah.
when you have a couple hot rookies to watch on the prelims, to me, it makes it much more entertaining.